I think it's fair to say, Gary, that was unacceptable today.
Yeah.
Where do you even start?
I'm disgusted. I'm actually disgusted. Hold my hands up. I'm the manager. I pick a team, and we've let the supporters and the club down today massively. I'm absolutely disgusted with the performance. It just gets so frustrating because you've seen us against Crusaders the other night, and exactly the same team take the pitch today, and we're goal down after 4 or 5 minutes. Then only for Rory Brown in the first half. We looked as if we'd never defended before. That's the reality of it. They've had 3 or 4 chances. We've given them a penalty. Rory Brown makes a great save, and you're going to yourself, hopefully that's a lift. We've done the same down here the last time. He made a great save. Didn't give them a lift the last time either. And you're looking at a derby game. We've got a great support there today, and you're looking to send them away home happy. And you're thinking, well, Rory's got the save. They got behind it, and then we offered nothing. Let's be honest. We had a wee period in the second half with a couple of chances, but apart from that, only for Rory Brown today, it would have been a lot bigger scoreline, and that's the thing that frustrates me. And I have to also excuse Jamie Dornan from that performance because he was absolutely outstanding. And the worrying thing is for us, as a coaching staff, is 18-year-old kid today, was a player we were relying on. You look at the quality that we have on the pitch there. And it was an 18-year-old kid that took the game and to them and made things happen for us. And credit to him. And I thought he was outstanding today. I want to praise him. I want to praise Rory Brown as well because he was outstanding again. But again, without being disrespectful, Rory Brown shouldn't be being called upon that many times in a match against your rivals and team in the bottom half, which we are as well. They shouldn't be creating that many chances against us. And from minute one, we looked all over the shop. And I think the second goal now, we've seen it back. I think it might have been offside, but still wouldn't have mattered. Still wouldn't have mattered at all. But the third one for me was honestly, it was unbelievable. We threw the ball up the pitch, they've just cleared it, and I turned around and look, and Sean Ward's 15-20 yards up the pitch, and O'Sullivan's in the middle of the pitch, 10-15 yards behind him, running through and goal. That's it's criminal, and you're certainly not going to get results defend like that. But listen, that was just the pinnacle of it, because it was like that throughout from the first minute to the 19th minute. We looked really, really nervous defensively, and it's a game that I would have been dying to get Andrew Doyle onto today, because we know he's a leader. He doesn't accept that, and unfortunately for Doyle, he was sick, and he's come here and sat in the bench for me because we're obviously down their last few players again, but he was in no shape to go on. But we did ask, and he wasn't up to it, which was unfortunate, because I do think if we could have got him on at half time, it might have changed things. We had that voice and that leader in the pitch, and also thought when Mick come on as well in the second half, I thought he done well as well when he come on in the second half. Outside of that, we can't come to Portadown and have basically 9 players out of our starting 11 not perform. Listen, I take responsibility as manager for the team, but that's the same team that played Crusaders on Tuesday night. They also have to take responsibility as well in terms of their own individual performances, because it's nowhere near good enough. And I want better for this football club. We've had teams over the years, and they've always put it up to Portadown and Derby games. We've very rarely. I think in the last couple of years we've got beat by them, but before that we've always done well against them. And even when we didn't win or whatever, we've got a fighting spirit in them, and we've got a bit of battle out of them, and give them a lot better game. But today, honestly, it was, yes, we did create a few chances, and maybe a 2-1 we had a good chance, we didn't take it, but we're papering over the cracks when we say that. It wasn't acceptable. It's demoralising, to be fair. It is. There's no point in saying that any different. Everybody is in there. They're hurting, and so they should be, and so are we. But the players definitely, didn't do their jobs in the pitch today, and it's. I can only apologise to supporters on my behalf as manager. For us and the coaching staff, and apologise for the performance, because as again, we had a great crowd out today, we had a great support here today, and they deserve better. They deserve better than that, and number one thing in a derby is you want to show fight and you want to show spirit and determination. But today we didn't show it. We certainly didn't show that enough, and that's why Portadown were hungrier all over the pitch. Obviously Friel and McElroy up front. Moved our centre halves around. We're winning headers against our centre halves. Midfield. They won the battle in midfield as well. Thought Taggart run the show. Apart from Jamie Dornan in there, we didn't have anything today. And again, it's a pity because they've ruined another opportunity to get 3 points today and go above Ballymena and Carrick. Yep, Ballymena and Carrick, and we didn't do it. And that's not good enough. We've always said yes. We know top six is more or less impossible. It's a hard task to get in the top six with the budgets that the clubs have, but seventh is our chance of getting at least a semi-final for European playoff. That's our only opportunity we have, and they've wasted another opportunity today to get 3 points and move in that seventh spot.
You talked about the defence there. I mean, they're seasoned pros. Three of the four have been regular stars for us this year. Where or how does it go wrong? I mean, how do they turn up today and put in that performance?
Michael, that's $1 million question. They're in there and they're hurting. Like, I'm not saying they're not hurting, but they are experienced players and they're better than that. They know they're better than that. And it's for they can see that many chances, especially in the first half, and that gives them a lift and that gives them momentum, and then they've scored a goal. And I think whenever Rory saves a penalty, that should flip the other way. That should give us a bit of a lift and momentum. You hear the fans cheering, they're getting behind you, and you're going, why can you not bounce off that? Why can you not react off that? And we didn't, and then I was just glad to get them in at half time 1-0 down, because I thought, we'll get a word, we'll get a chat with them and see if we can change things. Had a good chat with them, obviously because of our limited numbers at the back in terms of centre halves, and Thorder being out and Hockey being out for the season. We couldn't really change the centre half position, so we gave it a go for a while. Then we went to 3, brought Mick on. It worked better for a bit. It did work for a bit, but again we went missing again and conceded another 3 chances, of which they scored 2. And I felt sorry for Rory today. I felt really sorry for him because I thought he was exceptional, and he didn't deserve that. He didn't deserve that performance in front of him. He shouldn't have been having to do that much work. And I felt sorry for Jamie Dornan because what they give on the pitch, and you're looking people to stand up and be counted, and you're looking your more experienced players to stand up and be counted. But today, Jamie Dornan 18 and Rory Brown at 22 were the two that stood up and were counted for us.
Yeah. Before the game, obviously we lost Peter. What happened there?
Yeah, Peter's had a tight hamstring which he come off against Crusaders the other night. He thought he might be alright. We've tested him. He was okay. Then we went into the warm up and he started feeling it, and the physio and the doctor thought it was too big a risk of a tear, and if he gets a tear, that's him out for 6 weeks. So, as we're already limited in terms of numbers. The last thing we can afford is Peter Campbell out for 6 weeks. We'd love to have Peter playing today, obviously, but unfortunately it wasn't possible in terms of his hamstring, and it would have been a huge risk if we had played him today, because, as I said, he come off there the other night, as you've seen in the first half early, and it was tight the other night, and he felt like it could go. We thought 3 or 4 days rest, because it hadn't went, might have cured it. We got him treatment, for the last few days, and he's come in today, and he thought he was okay, but he knew after 5 or 10 minutes into the warm up, he went, nah, it's not anywhere near. So again, unfortunate, that you had to make a change, at that time again. But listen, that's no excuse. Yeah, would Peter have helped us today? Yeah, he would have, but it's not an excuse, because at the end of the day, you can't get results when there's only 2 players out of your 11 that perform anywhere near their capabilities.
Obviously, I think it's 7 now out of winning the league. How do we turn that around?
Listen, you just have to keep plugging away and working hard, and that's all you can do. It's like you hear these questions to everybody all the time. The only way out of things, I guess, is sticking together, working hard, outworking the opposition, and if you do that, go back to basics. Don't complicate things. Defenders defend, midfielders win the battle in there. Forwards get a hold of the ball, score goals. Get back to basics. Stop complicating things. And sometimes, if like even tonight, some of our decision making in the first half, on the ball was we were creating our own problems. In terms of like centre halves not coming and winning headers and heading it 20 yards up the pitch. You know, we were half heading it was dropping into them, and they were breaking on us and playing the front foot. And you know, we have to get back to basics. You know, defenders have to defend, have to stop crosses at fullbacks coming into the box. We have centre halves have to mark centre forwards and win their battles, and you know, midfielders have to win the battle in there, which, you know, Jamie was in his own there tonight. You know, and again, wide players, they need to be creative and, you know, get at the fullbacks, but also do their defensive work as well, and the front two have to work as centre halves, you know, in the defensive side of things, and get a hold of the ball first and give us something to play off, and as I say, score goals, because that's what we need front men to do. But again, we have what, 6 or 7 corners in the first half again, and you know, we need to start being better at that as well. And we keep saying the same things, but we keep working on it. We keep saying to them, we keep trying to help them, but you know, we certainly need to get better, and you know, sometimes that's what it takes. You know, it takes to just be tight as a unit, you know, be tight as a group, and you know, stick together and work hard. That's listen, in any walk of life, you know, the only way you get out of a bad situation or a bad run is to work harder, and that's it, and put more effort in, and going above and beyond, and that's all we can do. You know, I know us and the coaching staff are doing that. We're looking at everything, and we just need the players now as well as us to just make sure that they go out and outwork their opposition number. If you know, we can't expect every player to get the better of their opposite player. That's never going to be the case. But you know, with work rate, with determination, desire, hunger, you know, it doesn't take ability for that. And you know, if we get back to that, then hopefully the results will come again.
We've obviously got a week now until New Year. I suppose that gives us a bit of time to try and get things together. You know, what are you thinking going?
Again, we'll go back in on Tuesday. We'll have a chat again on Tuesday. You know, emotions are high in there. Obviously, disappointment, frustration, anger. You know, there's a lot of emotions going on in that change room. So, as I say, it's not always the best time, you know, to have these conversations. You know, I've told them to go home tonight. They'll get the video of the game tonight. Told them to watch it over the weekend. You know, for them to come back in and see what they think themselves as players, because it's always important to get their information too. We'll come in with our observations as well, and we'll have a chat on Tuesday night, get back on the training field, stop feeling sorry for ourselves, start working harder, and start believing as a group that we can get back in this 7th place, because that's what we want, and that's what we want to, where we want to be, and we want to come to the end of the season. We want to be in a position that we're getting that European playoff.